Chase Johnson knew exactly what he wanted to ask the president. What he didn't know was the response would be from the president himself. Right now, there is no official update on the status of this student, but the high school assured me that everyone is sending thoughts and prayers to the patient and her family. It really is. Now, Brett's mother and his family described him as gentle and friendly, the exact opposite of the horrific way he died. Well, Tim, it left as quickly as it came. We had a beautiful day out here today, got hit pretty hard from some rain, and now it's just looking absolutely beautiful out here. You wouldn't know that we were hit so hard by a storm just a little bit ago. Kentucky State Police just let me know that they have someone in custody they believe is connected to the incident this morning. Now, again, it happened at Commonwealth Pharmacy, which also serves as a doctor's office. That's right, Amanda. There are dozens of trees down, just completely uprooted here on Sunset Hill, this neighborhood. Take a look behind me. Those are several large trees uprooted during that storm last night. One of the biggest problems they're seeing right now is people walking in the middle of the road. Maybe if the sidewalk's not plowed, things aren't clear. They told me to emphasize the fact that this is not safe. A couple people have been hit. One app that parents should be on the lookout for. It looks like a calculator, but when you type in the secret code, you'll find a hidden photo album. This is what actually started the fire. It's an electric blanket used inside of a doghouse. The fire started here, going up the wall, eventually setting the entire house on fire. About 30 went to the president, 20 specifically about ISIS, and only one got a response. Cassie's brother told me she takes this walk almost every day. She goes inside, gets a snack, then goes straight home. Disposing of drugs like this is a lot safer than just throwing them away or flushing them down the toilet. Organizers told me they collected more than 4 times what they did last year. When a man knocked on Emery Caldwell's door last night asking for money, he was happy to help.
He's out of gas, and he had kids in the car, and he said, if I don't get it, I don't know what I'm going to do.
But as Caldwell reached to give him a couple bucks, the man swiped the billfold, stealing $33 and Caldwell's sense of security.
My legs was a-jerking. Like I said, I was shaking in my shoes.
The Gallia County Sheriff's Department is investigating what they're now calling a string of robberies, all on Easter night. The victims are all elderly, fairly isolated, and
I feel sorry for him, and poor old me, I got a big heart.
Have a history of generosity. Less than 10 minutes away, Joseph Myers had an unexpected guest at his door.
I thought it was my niece because she said she was coming up to look at our cats.
Myers invited the person at the door inside, but it wasn't his niece.
And he was wanting change for $5, so I got ready to reach for it, and he grabbed my wallet.
Myers, who uses a walker and lives with his elderly mother, struggled with the man before he took off with his wallet. Now he's left shaken in his own home.
It makes me uneasy and it makes me angry.
Both men said they lost less than $100, but they told me it's not about the money.
The times have changed. You can't trust everybody that comes to your door anymore. But he's a tough old bird, so I wouldn't mess with him.
It's about feeling safe at home. Just a month after his 25th birthday,
he will be missed each and every day for the rest of our lives.
Brett Powell's life stopped short. Last Thursday, police say Powell was attacked by a man in a bar in downtown Huntington, taking several punches to the head and face. The next day, he passed away from his injuries.
It's been hard to accept. You know, the loss of a child is always difficult, but when there's such brutality and violence and just a total disrespect for life, it really brings it to a new level.
When his family learned Brett had no brain activity, his mother Sherry made the decision to offer his life to save others.
We realized that he wasn't going to, that there was nothing else we could do. Then we decided to honor him by giving his organs.
Doctors told the family Brett's organs will save 5 people's lives.
Losing his own heart, this was his new heart to me.
A fact Sherry says gives her at least some amount of comfort.
It makes you feel a little better that, something good can come from something so bad.
Hayden Damian Drakes is charged with malicious wounding in connection with the beating. The prosecutor says Drakes could face more charges after the autopsy.
You shouldn't have to lose your life because somebody else is angry.
Sherry says she wants justice for her son's life, but she knows holding on to anger isn't what Brett would have wanted.
I know my son was very forgiving. He wouldn't hold a grudge.
finding peace in her son's memory and the life he's now given to others. Stepping off the school bus, James Gibson said he had no idea he was stepping inches from death.
I'm gonna die. That's all I could think. I thought I was gonna be dead.
Spoken like a typical teenager, but still realizing how close he was to tragedy.
Watched the whole thing, just saw the truck hit me and went down the blacktop.
Yesterday, a logging truck driver told investigators he lost control, swerving to miss the back of a stopped school bus. Instead, striking James and a 10-year-old girl.
Wasn't too bad, still alive. I mean, that's all I can, glad I'm alive.
Also thankful he was struck first.
I'm glad it was me that went off first, because that little girl will be hurt worse than I am.
We're going to put more memories in that book.
James's father is a former Marine, but says nothing has shaken him like the call he got yesterday.
I was scared to death. I'm just so thankful. It could have been a whole lot worse.
Still trying to grapple with the reality of what happened.
When he started actually reliving the events and telling me step by step, yeah, it was real hard. It was real hard. You know, at 15 years old, been through more than I have.
I'm glad to see you're all right.
For James, he just wants to get back to normal.
Nah, I won't be going back to school until probably Monday. I'd like to go back this week, but I ain't allowed.
His family, thankful they get to send him off to school healthy. It's been more than 30 years since Crystal Acker lost her father. Every year, the pain of losing him rushes back.
She said, I have to tell you something. Your daddy's not coming home. He went to heaven. And I remember screaming.
The Huntington Police Department remembered officers killed in the line of duty for National Fallen Peace Officer Day.
One of my primary responsibilities is to ensure the safety of these officers, and it certainly brings it into focus when we look back and remember those who have made a sacrifice, what dangers our officers face every day. 7
Huntington police officers have lost their lives since 1876. Officer Paul Harmon was killed on December 14, 1981. One day later, a fellow officer died on the job, the last officer killed in the city.
Pray for them every time they walk out the door, because it's not guaranteed that they'll walk back in it.
Advice Chief Ciccarelli practices every day.
I pray on a monthly basis with a group of local pastors, and that's our foremost prayer, is to protect these officers in their day-to-day duties, and I'm convinced that has worked.
It means a lot, a whole lot, that they do this and they remember him.
Remembering is what keeps her father alive.
He's still with me. He's in my heart, and that's how he lives on.
Alyssa Pasinik, WSAZ News Channel 3, Huntington.
It's very important.
Organizers told me they collected more than 4 times what they did last year.